Now, I have to say, you have quite the impressive resume. You were a professional football player, you were a U.S. congressman, pastor, philanthropist, and someone looking in may think you must have been raised in privilege, but that was not the case for you. So, how did you become so successful with having so little?
Well, Simi, I was blessed to have people in my life that gave me a picture of what it's supposed to look like. I saw men going to work. I saw them providing for their families, and kids live what they learn. And so I learned that you were supposed to do that. That was just a way of life, that you got up every day, what my dad called hustling, and getting out trying to earn a little extra money by mowing lawns or working at a local restaurant, or picking pecans, hauling hay, doing whatever you had to do to have a little extra money to go to a movie. And so I learned, I guess, free enterprise at a very early age, or entrepreneurship at a very early age. I wouldn't have called it entrepreneurship. We called it hard work. But nevertheless, that's what it was. And of course, you take the values of hard work, sacrifice, commitment, paying the price, and those values you learn early, and you just apply them to whatever arena you're in, be it the ministry, be it athletics, the political arena, and they've served me well.
Yes, and you've written an awesome book, Dig Deep, 7 Truths to Finding the Strength Within, and it's basically about how to do life better.
Right.
And we have a lot of people watching who feel, they've gone through a lot of setbacks, whether poverty or abuse or just a lot of challenges, but you say that they can dig deep and do life better. How would you advise them on that?
Well, digging deep in football and athletics, we used to call it in the 70s and 80s, we called it grit. And I think each of us we have that something within us that it's there that we can call on to summon the better parts of us to say, I'm going to fight another day. I'm going to fight through the bad business deal. I'm going to fight through the bad relationship. I'm going to fight through this difficult circumstance that I'm going through. And of course, once you get through the difficulties, you realize that the sun is shining and the birds are chirping and there's laughter around you. And Simi, it was around us when we were going through the difficult time. We just didn't notice it because we were so focused on that difficult circumstance. And so digging deep is just, again, calling on the best of us, and I think calling on our faith. Faith is like a muscle. The more you use a muscle, the stronger it gets. Faith is the same way. It's no different. We strengthen our faith by using our faith. And of course, 7 truths that helps us to dig deep is understanding adversity. I mean, if someone watching this show, if they've never gone through adversity, just keep living. It's going to happen. And so how do we deal with adversity, understanding that, hey, there is a tomorrow, that all storms run out of rain. And so understanding that helps us to deal with it, and having God's perspective. God says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. And he didn't say he'd only be with us in the good times. He said he'd be with us even in the difficult times. And I've drawn strength from that, even in my extremely difficult times.
And speaking of difficult times, how do you deal with, especially for me, you talk about the dark force of discouragement, and just getting through that. And how do you push past when you've waited so many years for something, or something just doesn't seem to be working out? How do you overcome that?
We're going to have adversities. We're going to have difficult times. Life's going to be hard sometimes. Life's going to be tough sometimes. You experience them. I experience those things. Everybody watching this show can point to difficult times. The tragedy in life is not that we're dysfunctional, because we are. We all are dysfunctional. It's just a matter of degree. The tragedy in life is when we allow our dysfunctions to become our normal, our discouragement to become our normal, our difficulties to become our normal. Again, you have to fight. Say there is another day. Next week's going to come. Hey, we're going to fight through this, and it takes digging deep, but it can be done.